Austria, make some noise for Rob Warner.
Hello everyone, alright, thanks for coming. I'm wearing a headband because 3 days ago I was in Turkey getting an air transplant. Yeah, anyone else this week? There's a code. Alright lads? Another bloke who can give you a code. So we've got 3 films for you tonight. We're going to start with the longest. They're not in any particular order. I say thanks for coming. I've done this for lots of other people. Never done it for myself before. The first film is Retro Race, which we'll talk about in a sec. The second one's going to be from Austria, where I take the old bike and the new bike there and ride Schladming and Kaprun, and not Schladming, oh my god. Yeah, Schladming, what am I on about? And then the last film is Return to Glory, where, I can't even remember. Fuck me, I'm nervous. There's a lot of people here, mate. I'm going to blame the anaesthetic, eh? The other way back, that's right, from Guatemala. Thanks, Steve. So, yeah, should we get the first film on? Yeah! Woo! Let's go! Alright, thanks. What do you think of it? Was it alright? Yeah. Good. I was a bit nervous. I feel very nervous doing any riding, of course, being 45 years old now. It's getting a bit awkward. Are we having a break now, Dee, or is there another film break now? We're going to have a break, but before we do, is there any questions? Anyone got any questions? We're going to have a little Q&A, so if you've got a question for me, now's the time. Eh? No?
Did you have to do any reruns on any of those?
No!
Yeah,
I don't know, Ollie.
No, actually, for real, yeah.
You don't need air transplant, do you? Yeah, no, we didn't, mate. We were going to try and do 2 runs on each bike, and sort of the first one would be not against the clock, and I'd get a feel for it, but it was really dark in that wood, and it was dark at 3, so we just cracked on, and that was actually the first time I cocked my leg over them. But for the, which was a bit, I'd like to have ridden them more, but for the sake of the film, it did really work in that they got, faster and faster, so yeah, it was all right actually, and literally that thing there, that was, that is a downhill World Cup winning bike. It's absolutely the shittest thing you've ever got. Like the brakes don't work. They were before that really. They didn't even have chain devices on, so it was 50-50 when you get to the bottom with the chain on. Obviously inner tubes, punches all the time. Early days of downhill were absolutely diabolical. Yeah. And hey, go on. You what? Yeah, that's right, but they were elastomer forks before that, weren't they? Yeah, that's right. I had pace forks in '93 that I run the ultra hard elastomers in, and every time I went off a drop or anything, the wheel would hit the crown so hard it fucking do send me over the handlebars. Awesome. Any other questions?
Yeah. You were blowing after 30 seconds. You could do the ghost previews on the World Cup now.
No, I couldn't, mate. Did you see what happened to Claudio a few years ago? Oh, yeah, he was in a bad way. And then Will Longdon, now you need to be pretty current, I'd say, to do them. Like, World Cup tracks these days, they've got pretty big gaps, you know what I mean? If you're 5 years after it, it's probably enough, I don't know, yeah. No, forget that shit, mate. No, I can barely get that. That's like a blue run at Bike Park Wales, and I was puffing, I was, yeah. yeah, it was funny. Any others? Go on.
Where's your e-bike fit in this category? Where do you reckon you would come on your e-bike?
E-bike?
Yeah.
I reckon it probably second, close to that second to last glory. They're pretty good, aren't they? Because do you know what, it wouldn't be bad, would it? The weight of it, the brakes work, the motor wouldn't matter, but yeah, the weight of the brakes, everything works, even that's an 05, and you can see it's, how did they make bikes that small for people like me? Like, fucking how? Hey? Go on, mate.
What was the worst mechanical you had in a race run?
What was what?
The worst mechanical you had in a race run?
I'll tell you one thing. In '96, later that year, because I did have a good year, and I went to Worlds in Cairns, And in qualifying, I was dropping McCarroll, and he qualified fastest for it. So I was all pumped up for it, and then I'd flown to Australia. It was a fucking long way. Qualifying run, the first time, proper timed run, again, proper official timed run. I got a puncher, and then it wasn't like I couldn't qualify for Worlds, so I got my Worlds finals run, and halfway down the chainstay on that snapped, and the wheel went against the frame and stopped, and I remember picking it up and throwing it over my head as far as I could into the jungle, and then I ran back across the track, and then ran across the track, and threw myself, and landed on it, and then stamped on it so hard for about 5 minutes, that I could hardly walk the next day. I bruised my ankles, and someone tried to stop me, and this bloke, one of the officials, was like, "No, keep back. There's no telling what he's going to do." Yeah.
So you
Hey?
You liked that bike then?
That bike, yeah, I did like it. I mean, it was, but that bike actually was behind what I think probably the Intense and that was that. I can't really remember, but there were definitely better bikes than that. That was like, Giant were late to the party, and they just made a 990 with a little bit more travel.
You liked a big saddle, isn't it?
That's a big saddle, mate, isn't it? Eh? Big kahunas, take a big saddle. Back in them days, you had to have them ride one of them. They had them saddles that nearly went to the handlebars, didn't they? So you could slide up like a motocross bike as well. Yeah, do you remember? There was loads of weird shit. Any other questions, or you want to get a drink?
Which year of racing did you have the most fun in?
Probably 97. No, actually. No, so 96, I signed for Giant, won that World Cup. 97, I was on a mission because everyone said it rained when I won in Kaprun. The next film would draw a line under that forever. So I was on a bit of a mission, I had a good year, and actually then in 98, well, after that I just didn't give a shit. So that continuous period up till I quit in 2006 was a great time, yeah. Yeah, but actually it turned sour in about 2001 because no one came at the races. The sport absolutely collapsed. So then it was hard work actually being there. So let's say from like 96 to about 2000, the whole time that Palmer was doing it, it was pretty fucking good to be honest. Yeah, we had a right laugh. Yeah. The racing was only like, that was like we took care of other things before we took care of the racing, that's for sure. Yeah. Hey? Last one, anyone others?
Who's your best British rider you've raced against?
Oh, Petey. I mean, yeah. He is the best though, isn't he? No other British riders come anywhere near that, have they? 17 World Cup wins. No, he was pretty unbeatable, mate. Imagine all the wins I'd have had if it went through. Hey? Fuck Petey. Right, let's have a drink. See you after the break.
Once again, please give it up for Rob Warner.
I hope everyone's had a drink. Well, he sat through the longest film of the night, the next two should be a doddle. So this one is called Return of Glory. I went back to Austria, to Kaprun, where I won on that bike. You won't believe how many times I said I won in this film about it. I noticed it when I was watching it. And then I go and do a riding edit, believe it or not, on that bike at Schladming, which was pretty brave, really, I felt, and was heavily edited. Wanted Doug. No, it's all you, mate. We kept chopping that down. But yeah, I had Brendan Semenuk, so yeah, keep that in mind. And also, this film, they did an amazing thing for me in Kaprun. I don't want to give it away. For that win I had in 1996, I heard it all the time, statues, all this shit. This film, yeah, just watch this film. Return of Glory. Was the thing alright, was it? Yeah. Woo! Thank God for that, yeah. I was pretty nervous about doing a riding edit. Yesterday, actually, we only sent it to Giant yesterday, and the Giant copywriter, he sounds like a clever fella, written all these big articles, done some research, and found out that my last World Cup race actually was Vigo in 2007, And my last time I rode in Schladming was at the end of 2006, which is correct because in Vigo 2007, I had a tickly cough and drank an entire bottle, top to bottom, of cough medicine the day before the race, and ended up talking to some fish in a fish tank in a restaurant for 3 hours. Never qualified the next day and never went back. So, yeah, that's what happened there. Yeah, honestly, Mark Whiteley found me talking to some fish. Any questions? Anyone got any questions after that one?
Do you think they're faster with hair or not?
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm getting it back, ain't I? I ain't walking around looking like a hologram for nothing. Yeah. If this comes back, mate, I may, like, you know what I mean? I'm going back. Yeah, I'm gutted not to have hair. To go, do you want hair back? I mean, sorry. Do you know what I mean? Like, £3 grand. I went to Turkey, 3 days, 2,700 euros, like £3 grand all in with a flight. I could have hair again.
450 quid, I'd give you some of this.
Is that a transplant? You just offer it. That won't work, mate. It'll reject that, curls like that. I'm going to grow my own permit, bro. Yeah. If I get this long again, I'm having another perm. I did have a perm in the 90s, maybe. Eh?
Jealous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, let's not talk about these locks too, these flowing locks, because we don't want to, like, you know what I mean? They need to come back. I've got a lot of banks on this. Any other questions?
Yeah, with your chocolate shots, can I have some questions?
I just want to talk about your tattoo.
Which?
King Henry, like.
King Henry VIII?
Yeah.
He was pretty cool.
Yes, 6 wives.
Eh? 8 wives, didn't he?
6.
6 wives. Oh, Henry VIII, 6 wives. I don't know, he invented tennis and started basically fucked off the Catholic Church so he could have more wives. I thought he was alright, really. Basically, that's why I've got King Henry VIII tattooed. Yeah, he was swanky though, dude. He had like gold castles and shit. It was the boy. Yeah, for the
Wasn't a measurement.
Eh?
Wasn't a measurement in Cockney Rhyming language.
What?
Wasn't a measurement in Cockney Rhyming language.
What's a measurement?
It wasn't a measurement.
What wasn't?
Henry VIII.
You mean? Right there, I got you. Sorry, but I was a bit slow on the uptake of that one, and I moved in. That was bad. Any others? Any others?
End of the video, last one, you said you had a bad crash. What's your worst crash?
That pretty fucking bad, actually. That was. Yeah, because that one there, that was bad in Schladming. It was, like I said, it wasn't early 2000s. It was 2006. End of it, I was struggling to go fast, and I remember like there was a little rock garden, and then you came out, and then there was a little wooden bridge like just after it, and I braked out the rock section like you do in a finals run sometime, and instead of going straight on this little wooden bridge, it was only like 6 foot long, I was turning, and the front lost, and then gripped as it hit the other side. Yeah, and I was in. I think they stopped qualifying for about an hour. Like I was out and had to go to hospital and shit. But that night, there was nothing broken. I'd ripped my rib cage off my spine. You know where the yeah, like where the cartilage attaches it or something. Fuck me. Later that night in the race kit, they put a fucking plastic bag over it and like, yeah, you can go. And I was like trying to walk back to town, and I was fucked. Like I was in so much pain. And then I got driven, eh?
Go to the bar.
No, I was done, mate. Yeah, and that injury, I'll probably like still get the rib out now, and it keeps me awake at night. Yeah, it was a bad one. Yeah, horrible. Anything else?
What's your worst or best short palmer story?
Or you?
That you can say about the children.
You got enough time.
There's a lot, but a good one was, off the top of my head, there's probably, like this one I remember, because we nearly got killed. So we had a big lot of parties at his house. He had this amazing house in Tahoe, overlooked the pier on Lake Tahoe where they shot one of the weddings in The Godfather. So you can imagine he lived around there and he's racing fucking motorbikes round and round his house. Anyway, one night we all got drunk, but Oscar Size rode for Specialised and was quite athletic, and he didn't have a drop. So Palm was like, "You're driving," and it was one of his old Caddies with 3 seats in the front. And I was in the middle. No, I was against the door. He was in the middle. Oscar Size was driving. Pete was in the back. So we drive from his house to Tahoe, go gambling. And so poor bloke driving wasn't really driving. he was just steering, and Palmer kicked his feet off the pedals and did the pedals. Yeah, we'd had a bit to drink. So by the time we got to Tahoe, and we'd overtaken quite a lot of cars as we should have, like, literally this bloke was screaming, just fucking steering. Yeah, it was terrifying. There was no shit, police cars everywhere, fucking blue lights. We stop, and it's for us, and there's fucking blokes, like police with guns everywhere. And they questioned us, said we'd been driving like idiots, but they couldn't do anything because Palm wasn't driving, but I think they knew what was up. Anyway, they said, get your driving licence. And it was the only time ever I think I've heard Petey scared. And Palmer had already said something like to him like, fucking, I'm getting off your lady man, eating so many fucking donuts, because he was fat and that. And as he went for the glove, he went, yeah, I'll get the thing, he went for the glove box, the copper triggered his gun, and Petey in the back went, easy, Palm! Yeah, it was like serious. And I think he said, honestly, he said something like, well, you're going to fucking shoot me, Trigger, it was wild. But they don't give a fuck in America, do they? It happens all the time. And then that was it, we went gambling. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was a good night. Anything else? Right. So this is the last film. This is called, what's this one do? I can't remember. The Other Way Back. That's right. Marcelo Gutierrez and me in Guatemala, in South America. Shot this earlier in the year in March. There's fucking amazing volcanoes in it. Did any of you see The Way Back? The one I did after last year. I was all depressed and then went back to Mexico and had a big... Yeah. This is supposed to be a sequel to that, but it's actually a remake. Check this out. Yo, Nick Merkel.
How you doing, Nick? All right, mate? All right, Nick. All right, mate? My last voice recording up, so I deleted it.
Alright, that was funny when we ended that. So that one there was a reason I went to Guatemala to do it. I sort of wanted, like I said, a sequel, and I was like, yeah, I want this big stunt at the end of it. And then, obviously, things that you can't get away with in Europe are probably easier to make happen in places like Guatemala. So we sent this bloke off. He wasn't very happy, actually. I was like, we need like 80 litres of fuel. I think they got 40 litres. And then they got loads of bottles. And I had to go down the bottom in that. That actually there, we couldn't set fire or anything, because that was, when the volcano erupted, that's one of the, whatever they call it, you know, where all the fucking molten rock goes. It's like a, yeah, there's a name for it, but it was insane. It's like a big river that had dried up a rock. But I was sliding down this rock, like, these fucking cans of fuel next to me, thinking, if these go bang. And then, mate, it was the last day of the shoot, and like, someone who should remain nameless, he was kind of responsible, I think they decided they'd have a drink for the day, like, last day. And they were pissing about making petrol bombs at the top, to throw over the top. The idea was the bike had landed and there'd be an explosion. I'm down the bottom looking up, and then I hear this, ah! And literally, like, there's a petrol bomb comes over the top, hits the cliff above, it's fucking like petrol, flames everywhere. And it nearly didn't happen actually, because the bloke making the film wasn't very happy, but yeah, and we ran out of petrol, so there wasn't an explosion, but that's why that was like that. Yeah, that's actually what happened, yeah, we ran out of petrol. Damn shame. Right, any questions on that? Thanks for sitting for all my films tonight. Any more questions?
Who played recorder?
Don't know actually. Don't know. He only just got that through on YouTube. It's not monetised, but with that it will get played. I don't know. Like it's different enough for the copyright. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Good to know.
What's next?
Next?
Yeah.
What in the way of what? Films?
Anything.
Same shit. I'm going to Tasmania at the end of February. I think that's my next proper job. Yeah.
Got to go to Madeira and challenge Brendog, didn't you?
What's that?
Head out to Madeira and see if you can do better than him.
We know the result, mate. You've seen me ride tonight. You've seen what I can do. You've seen Death Grip 2. You've seen this. You know what's up. He knows. He's keeping quiet over there. Any other questions?
You're going to do a book of all your stories?
Maybe. Yeah, actually. So, actually quickly as well, a geezer, I've decided to do a book, and I've written all the stories down, and this bloke I went to school with, and then went raving with, and I was good mates with him, right? Do you want to hear this quickly? In 1984, where I live in my village, I was 14 years old and had the paper round. Bloke up the road in number 3 of the council house, and because I did the paper round, I was a fucking suspect, like everyone. Yeah. And I had a new motorbike. I've got a new trials bike because I was in the trials, and we actually, it was mad actually. I think they went around everyone's houses. We had 2 cops in the house, and it was like good cop, bad cop, and they were asking me about, where did you get the money for that new motorbike? And we were like, no, we ain't got the receipt. The bloke bought it for me, so it was a bit sus. One of them asked to use a loo. Mum found him going through all the cupboards in the kitchen. Like, yeah, it was insane. But they asked where I was on the time of the murder, and I was at a bicycle trial. And Paul, my mate who might write my book, was there with me. And the coppers left, and literally 5 minutes after, landline, no mobiles of course, he rings, he's like, just had Thames Valley Police ring me and say, was I with you at a bike trial in Essex on this day and this time? So he, the bloke who wrote my book, was actually my alibi in a murder case. So I might go with it. Anyway, it's been a nice light-hearted finish to the evening.
Did he mention he's a copper?
Are you really?
No.
Yeah, it's alright. It's I'm innocent. It's
Just a bit to it.
fucking sweat here. Well, on that night, let's get the fuck out of here. Everyone have enough? Thanks for coming! Thanks for coming!
Quite this intimidating when I walked out here. Fucking camera, all these faces, I was like, whoa! Yeah, thanks for sitting for all that, it was alright. Good. Cheers.